Hey everybody, this is Coach Jeff, and again, I really believe that we were made to thrive and not just survive, and especially in a crisis like we're going through right now, it's easy to get into that sense of that mindset where we just feel like we're being overwhelmed, we don't know what to do as small business owners, and I really want to bring to the forefront, business owners who are trying to do what they can to move things forward, to see this as um, really not a problem, but an opportunity to learn and grow and adapt and be creative and do all those kind of things that entrepreneurs have to do and that we all have to do to move forward. So I've been doing these interviews. This will be number 5, I think, episode number 5. And I'm excited today to have a conversation with Brady. And how you doing tonight, Brady?
I'm doing great. Feeling good. Just took a shower, feeling fresh.
That's good. That's good. So I want to start off with just tell us a little bit about what your business is, how long you've been doing it, and what you love about it.
Love it. So my business is Salmon Island Sea Salt. We make artisan sea salt right here on Salmon Island, Friday Harbor, where it's in my hometown. I was born and raised here, and been doing it since 2012. So what is that? 9 years now? 8 years? Eight full years anyway. And yeah, it started out real small, and we've gotten to the point now where we got about pre-crisis. We had about four full-time employees, and hadn't worked for anybody since 20. I also possessed myself for since 2012, so I've loved that about it. And but one of the things that really keeps it magical for me is it's kind of like farming. It's agricultural in a way, in that we use the sunshine to produce our sea salt. So we're not like, don't picture a factory, picture a farm. We lay our seawater out in these big long greenhouses, and during the summertime it comes out, the sun comes, heats these things up, and crystals start to form after about a month. So I don't know, it's just it's grounded in that seasonality, and that it feels like kind of a natural process, and every time the crystals form it feels magical still. So just the core element of what we are producing, it still feels alive and fresh to me. It doesn't feel like I'm producing widgets or like plastic spoons. It's something I'm excited about, and it's beautiful and it's interesting. So yeah, that really helps to have a product that I'm kind of in love with. But in terms of my role in the business, I'm a math guy. I'm kind of like, that's where my real inclination has always been. And so making 500 spreadsheets for my business, it brings me great joy. It's work fun too. So yeah, that's kind of the two places where my joy lies in my business right now.
That's cool. So I'm just curious, and I would imagine other people are too. So, I mean, I'm sure it's anyway, I guess in a as brief as you can, how does that process work from like you taking seawater and then you just kind of explain that process really quickly, how that works, how you make the salt.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So there's many ways to make sea salt. The basic idea is that you have to, seawater starts at say 3% salt and 97% water. And to get sea salt, you have to obviously get rid of all that water. You can boil it. You can let the sun do it in the Bay of California. Sorry, San Francisco, the Gulf of California. Stuttering here.
It's okay.
You let the sunshine do it. Around here, it's not quite warm enough to do it naturally. Like we don't have the heat of the Mexican Riviera to make the seawater go away. So I have these big long greenhouses, just like you'd grow tomatoes in. You think of them as a hot house or a hoop house.
Right.
And we go to the ocean in a big truck with a 2,000-gallon tank on it. I suck up seawater from the beach. I drive it 3 miles back to our farm. I lay it in these, we filter it as it goes in, and lay it in these food grade pond liners, and just a big kiddie pool full of seawater. That's 100 by 1,200. Each one is 1,200 square feet. We've got 7 of them, and
wow. Okay.
yeah, it just gets hotter than heck in there, and about a month later, you got 250 pounds of salt ready to be harvested.
Okay, so I'm just curious. So then when you harvest it,
Yeah.
do you have to gather it up? Do you have to like wash? How does that work? I'm just curious. It's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, nobody's ever seen it happen, obviously, so it's very rare for people to have a picture in their mind of what it looks like. But basically, it forms as like a 2-inch layer of snow, kind of, on these things. So we have a food grade broom, just push it up in a pile, scoop it up. It's it'll be about 110 degrees in these greenhouses, and it's humid as heck, and the salt itself is like burning hot under the sun. So it's a very arduous thing, but it's very satisfying because you walk out of there with 10 full 5-gallon buckets of just dripping wet hot salt. And then it has to be drained, and it has to be dried, and it has to be ground and sifted, and all these different manipulations we do to it. But
Right.
the key ingredient here is just sunshine and time. We step back and let the sun do the work.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
it sounds really fascinating because I've never, you're right. I've never actually seen,
Sure.
I buy salt at store and it's inside that little thing and salt
Yeah. Yeah.
shaker,
Yeah.
Morton salt or whatever it is.
That's right. That's right.
And then you just shake it out. So that's cool that you're actually making that,
Oh yeah. Yep.
producing it, farming it on the
That's
island.
right. That's right.
That's really cool.
Yep.
So what is your current, do you have a storefront? What's your open status given the whole COVID-19 thing going on?
Well, surprisingly enough, since the first stay home, stay safe order came down, you read the detailed descriptions of what the essential businesses are, and artists and food producers are in that. So we're certainly in that zone. So we are absolutely open for business, but what that looks like for us is a little different. We have never had a storefront. We've always done the farmers markets, certainly our online sales, and then the bulk of our business has always been wholesale to small grocery stores or to small boutique retailers across the country.
Okay.
Which not all of them are open. So, we're seeing obviously some demand shocks, but our own status is open. But yeah, with that big caveat, is a good chunk of our business has disappeared.
Right. Because you would be at the farmer's market and you can't have a farmer's market right now, I
Well, no,
guess.
you can't. It just
Can't you?
depends on the jurisdiction. Friday Harbor has been
Okay.
running theirs for the last few months. We don't usually
Oh,
go until
all
the
right.
tourist anyway. Our business
Mhm.
is very tourist centric. But so, they've been running it at very low capacity. I have no idea how sales are. Seattle just opened a couple of theirs back up. So it just depends on the jurisdiction. But again, even if it is open, if we don't get those tourists coming off the ferry boat, it doesn't mean much to us. So, I don't know if we're only going to make $300 there. I'm not going to put my employees at risk doing customer facing if we're for that
Yeah.
little. So we'll kind of experiment with it, but I'm kind of building our plans off of not hoping for much there. So yeah.
Sure.
When historically the Friday Harbor Farmers Market has always been our biggest single customer, our biggest single line item of revenue has always come from the San Juan Island Farmers Market. So I think that's going to be different this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but it most likely tourism is
Yes.
going to be like way down. I don't want to
Yeah. Yeah.
don't want to put that out. Just if you're watching this, please come. If once it's all open, don't come
Yes.
yet.
That's right.
So in light of the whole COVID-19 thing, have you become aware of needs that your customers have that maybe they didn't have before, or how you're servicing them? I mean, what needs do they have that maybe different, or is there
Yeah, that's a
anything?
good question. Really you have to think about the two different parts of our business, which is the wholesale and the retail. Like I said, the wholesale has basically evaporated. We're still getting a small trickle of wholesale orders, but a lot of our big accounts are either they're just not buying. I mean, they're not buying. I'm not 100% sure why, but the ones that are still buying are basically ones that are selling online. So yeah, it's really hard to know. I mean, these wholesale, these boutique stores, they're just hurting so badly. So
Yeah.
that's like our bread and butter. And there's not much we can do. Like if they have no customers coming to the door, or if they're physically closed, giving them a 50% discount doesn't mean much. To give them free shipping, better
No.
terms, none of that really means anything. So what we've found is basically we've shifted our focus back towards our beginning, which is retail. And because that's the only place that people are still engaged with our business right now is online retail. And yeah, so we've been very encouraged to see. I'm not sure it's a need that we didn't know existed, but encouraged to see that people are still spending money in that sector. And one of the ways they're spending it is to give each other gifts. Like I can't tell you how many gifts we
Right.
sent out. Like just thinking of you in this hard time, or thank you for everything you're doing in this hard time, or here's something to brighten your day. Basically, we're seeing gift levels. Like if you think of a proportion of orders that are actually gifts, we're seeing levels that usually surpass what we usually get at Christmas time.
Wow.
Which is beautiful. It's, people are thinking of other people. And so it's not a need I didn't know existed, but it's something that's changed. And yeah, so we're changing with it and trying to, come up with some different collections that make sense to things to give as gifts to people who are stuck at home. So
Sure. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then kind of along those same lines, I mean, just either, um, it sounds like you've been talking about this a little bit, but how has your business had to have like, creatively adapt to
Yes.
what's going on now? Um, and so I guess what is the business doing? And then also maybe you personally, what challenges are coming up for you that you're having to come like with creative, you know, solutions for to keep moving forward, or build this motivation, or just kind of
Yeah.
what's going on in business
Yeah.
and your own personal.
Yeah. So let's see. To give you a little bit of context, we've been, our business has only existed in a boom time. From 2012 to 2020 has been a true economic boom time. So,
Yeah.
we've never had a down year, hardly a down month, which, during this period, you can be pretty bad at business and do that. Like that's kind of the nature of the game. Everybody's winning, which is great. But so part of that was we were always a little bit lagging behind on our production. So our core unit is the sea salt, and we can only produce it during the summer, and we're limited by how many greenhouses we have. So we decided this year we're going to double production. We've been behind the curve for too long. So I took out a decent sized loan for my business. That is not a huge loan, objectively, but a decent loan. So, okay, I'm going to spend all this money. I'm going to double production and be the biggest expansion we've ever done. And then, of course, a month later, this all comes down.
Yeah.
But in the large scheme of things, it actually is on the financial side has actually helped because I didn't spend all that money yet. So it actually gave us a little bit more cushion. And actually I've heard from other businesses that have been this way, like, oh yeah, we took out this big fatty loan for these things we wanted to do, for this capital investment we were trying to do, but then never used it. So it's actually just more of a buffer against these downturn.
Yeah.
So there's some serendipity there, but regardless, we put those expansion plans on hold, and we were seeing numbers dropping like crazy. So I was cutting hours, and I've had to temporarily lay off 2 of my employees, which it hurts, but it's also it's like that's where the world is at right now. And I'm like, I tell these people, they've been with me for a long time. I'm like, you got a job. As soon as this thing opens back up, it's not permanent. I just can't have you on the books right now. It's just we don't have the money to justify it. So
Yeah.
and it's comforted me greatly that the government has stepped up on the unemployment side of things, so that made that decision easier.
Yeah, totally.
And if I was in a competitive labor marketplace like Seattle, where and these weren't people I had known for a really long time, I would be a lot more hesitant to drop them off because you wouldn't be sure if you could get them back on after this. But we just have the sense of being in a small community where we're a team still, even though they're not technically my employees right now, and they know they got a home here after this.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, we've downsized and shifted our focus, and then personally for me, it's all about making my world smaller. So from roughly Monday through Friday night, I don't read the news. I don't check the stock market. I don't do
Right.
anything like that. I'm just focused on my family, focused on the business, focused on exercise and health. And I do listen to podcasts because I find podcasts don't put me in that stressful state. It doesn't give me that adrenaline rush of stress about the world. So trying to stay informed, but informed in ways that allow me to keep my agency. If I read too much news, my agency just drains away like water out
Yeah.
of a sponge.
I
So
totally get that.
I've been trying to preserve my agency, and that gives me more energy for my business and more energy for my family. So that's been my personal coping thing.
That's cool. That's good. Totally.
Yeah.
So how can people find you? I assume there's a website. Do you have anything on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook or Instagram account, or what's the best way or ways for people to, and I'll put these, whatever you say, and I'll put it in the link, but just tell us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, Instagram and Facebook are certainly we're posting every day. I struggle with that. It doesn't come naturally to me, but especially now that we're moving more towards online retail, like that's ever more important.
Right.
But yeah, we post every day in there. And then of course our website, one of the things we did when we started seeing sales dropping like a stone, we were like, okay, we need to throw a Hail Mary. So we offered free shipping on every single order, which we've never done before. And just as, just trying to get some kind of movement going there. And so they can find that on our website, get free shipping. We sell on Amazon as well. Not our full product line, but maybe about a third of our products are on Amazon as well.
So
And
what is your website? Just what's your website?
SamOneOutSeaSalt.com.
Pretty straightforward and simple.
Pretty straightforward. Yep, you can't
That's
mess
good.
it up. Although if you go to SanJuanSeaSalt.com, you'll go to my competitor's website who bought that to draw traffic away from me. So
Got it.
I learned that lesson. You got to buy similar URLs.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh, well, good. So then, so do you have any like final message that, I don't know, a bunch of people in our community is going to watch this, that
Yes.
like message you'd like to just to share with them? It could be anything at all. Just what's anything you want to share?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just feel our business has been lifted up by this community from day one. Like, I haven't been born and raised here when I started this business. The outpouring of support back in 2012, 2013 was just incredible. And yeah, the community lifted me up for a long time. All we had was a San Juan Island farmers market and a few stores on San Juan Island. And like I said, those things, Kings and Marketplace and the Co-op and Gourmet Galley and Farmers Market, they still remain some of our biggest supporters. And I mean, I'm just endlessly thankful for this community and what they've done for our business and kept it going. And I guess, yeah, I mean, my whole thing is there's opportunity here. Basically, it's going to be a forced kick in the butt for doing things we've always known we should be doing for our business. And this is a great excuse to allow that to kick you in the butt and kick you into gear. Like an example for me would be advertising. I've never done online advertising, but it's like, why not try to figure it out? And now's the time. And
Yeah.
so anyway, that's just my message to everybody. Whatever walk of life you're in, is you can treat this as a kick in the butt or a punch in the face. A punch in the face is no good, but a kick in the butt is pretty good. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's a kind of a recurring theme I've heard from numerous business owners, is that
Yes,
they have these things they've been meaning to do, whether it's like get their website up and running
that's
or
right.
whatever, do these things. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, now is the time. So they just like pour it in and, get it done and moving things forward. And
That's right.
that's cool. That's awesome. I
Yep.
kind of keep hearing that.
Yep.
Well, good. Well, it's great talking to you, Brady. And so I'd encourage everyone, please go check out the website. I'll put it down in the link below, his website. Go ahead and email me your Facebook and your Instagram info.
Yeah, of
I'll put
course.
that in the link below too.
Wonderful.
And if you guys find these interviews encouraging and inspiring, please, share it on your Facebook. Follow, both of us on Facebook and Instagram, whatever. And because I really want businesses and people in general, nonprofits, to take this time and really see it as an opportunity and to encourage one another. And that slogan, San Juan Island Strong, and we're stronger together. That really is true. We're an amazing community, and so please let's just continue to stay healthy and encourage one another and keep moving forward. So this is Coach Jeff. I hope you guys are thriving, and talk to you guys later. Hey, thanks, Brady.